My name is Esther Doyle Reed, and this is what I do. I am Esther Doyle Reed, and I am the Charles County Archaeologist. When I come out in the morning to start on a site, of course, first thing we're going to do is we're going to load the equipment up out of the shed, and then the crew comes over. We uncover all the units, and then I'll assign tasks to the various crew members. Some people will be digging, some people will be working on the screens. If we have a lot of artifacts that we've picked up during the excavation process, I'll send some of the people into the lab. So if we're here in the field, we'll start by opening up the units, and then we'll start to dig. And we're going to be digging in small increments. We don't just shovel straight down and pop the dirt out. You're going to take it out across in nice flat layers. And the reason you're doing that is that soil builds up in different layers. And as the dirt comes out, it goes into the buckets. The crew that's screening will come over, pick it up, and they'll put it through the screen. Each layer is bagged separately. All the information about the unit and everything is written on there. I'll go through and assign bag numbers to the crew, and everything stays with its specific number as it goes into the lab. And then at the lab, it's going to be washed. It'll eventually be cataloged, but it stays with that number the entire time that it's moving through the cleaning process. And then eventually what we'll do is we'll analyze it. We'll try to reconstruct vessels. I got interested in archaeology when I was a very young child growing up in Western Pennsylvania. When I was probably about 10, my father took me to see an archaeological dig, and I was just like, I love this, I really want to do it. So when I went to college, I majored in anthropology. Archaeology is a sub-science of anthropology. And then eventually I went on and got my master's degree at the University of Maryland, College Park, go Terps. And now I'm working here in the county, and I'm a project manager and principal investigator of this dig. Every day that I'm in the field is special and memorable. It's either because we're having a great time together as a group of people who work together, or we're finding interesting things, or we're in a spot that's just absolutely beautiful. I think the most challenging part of my job is during the summer when everything dries out and the soil has become concrete and we are trying to dig through it. It's difficult and physically demanding, and you're sore when you come in from out of the field. And there's days sometimes when I'm like, why didn't I go into accounting? But I enjoy this too much, so I'm not going to start looking for something else at this point in my career. The other difficult part is when you work on a cultural resource management crew, and these are people that go out before highways are built or subdivisions are put in or some sort of federally mandated project, they'll work in the winter. And when I was younger, we used to have to go out when it was in the 20s and shovel snow off a site. And it's really hard to keep a good attitude while you're out in that kind of weather. But if you don't, you're going to be miserable all day. So that's challenging. I'm enjoying myself, I'm having a good time, I'm freezing cold, I'm not thinking about it. When I'm not here on the site, when we're not out doing survey, I actually have an office here in the county. And part of my job as the county archaeologist is to review development sites and nations as to whether archaeology needs to be done or not. So it's not all outside and it's not all fun. There's paperwork. There are reports that you have to write, so there are times when you are not going to be out in the field and you're going to be stuck inside, and it's going to be a beautiful day, and you're going to be wondering, when do I get to go back out again? But you have to write the report. And another thing that we do is we often go to conferences and give papers. We interact with the public on public digs, and also we'll give talks at various places around the county, around the state, about what we're doing to the public. So there's a lot of aspects to the job: public interaction, field work, doing review, education. I teach part-time. So there's a lot of ways that you can be involved in archaeology, and if you find out you don't like the field work, there are inside aspects that you can do.